Hey Ringside crew. Welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther the Third.
Hey, hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther the Third, as I just said it twice. Tonight, I have a gentleman that is going to make you love wrestling, independent wrestling from different countries, making love them even more. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the Starboy Nemo. Boom, Nemo, welcome.
Nano, but yes, you
Nano. I
almost
kind
got
of
it.
said Nemo
You almost got
before.
it.
Whoa, Nano.
Yeah, it's okay. Hi, Joe. Thank you for having me. It's great to be
Again,
here.
I'm sorry for the botch.
No.
So, first and foremost, if my internationally known audience is not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
So yeah, I'm Starboy Nano Lopez, a wrestler originally from Spain, although I'm based in Poland. And most of my career is happening here right now. At the moment, I'm a babyface, being in wrestling business for few years now, and I travel a lot to different countries and try to, show others what I'm capable to do inside the ring and outside of the ring.
Awesome. So, who trained you?
Well, I initially started wrestling training many years ago in 2007, but that was just a single training I had in Spain. We didn't have a wrestling culture back then, so my trainers happened when I moved to Poland, and we had the chance to bring some guests and some guest trainers. So my main trainer is Sid Scala, best known for his role as a WWE NXT UK assistant manager, and Joe Legend, who has been in WWF, in TNA, he has been all over the world. So those are my two main coaches, and then of course I have had a lot of seminars with well-known superstars such as Santino Marella or Nick Aldis. So, but those two first are my main coaches.
Awesome. So, what kind of wrestling, like, from advice that you get from each of these people that you would say that would tossed into your like wrestling style and stuff like that?
When it comes to the wrestling style, I picked a little bit from here and there, but one of the things I realize that is the most important for me, in my opinion, when it comes to professional wrestling, is to have a unique personality and a unique gimmick that is recognizable by anyone in the audience or in the internet or in the crowd. So then, when it comes to styles, I'm not I'm not a person who sticks to one style of wrestling. I try to adapt to what my opponent is. So we can go technical, we can go aggressive, we can go grappling, we can go. So I try to pick from here and there, and I don't have a defined style, so to speak.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, is there like any wrestlers that you've been watching on like the Instagrams or YouTubes that you've been dying to work with that you have not worked with yet?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Always in this world of wrestling, there is a lot of people that first of all, you look up to them, and second of all, you wish to share the ring with. Obviously, if we talk about the independent scene, there are a lot of them. I don't know if I can consider Will Ospreay or Trent Seven or people like that independent wrestlers anymore because they all have signed for some major promotions. But anyway, Brian Danielson, all those guys that you have been watching for so long and you see them in the social media and stuff like that still performing at such a high level would be an honor to share the ring with them. But if I should give you any name from the independent scene, uh, there is a wrestler. There are a couple of wrestlers, for example, in the UK that like Tate Mayfair, for example, is a wrestler I have been following for a while now. Uh, one of the wrestlers I was following also for a while, and I had a dream that I actually achieved a couple of months ago was Carlos Zamora from Denmark. There are a lot of prospects in a lot of countries. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you just two or three. I could be here speaking all day about wrestlers
Oh,
I would like.
geez. We'll have to make a two-parter, Nano.
Yeah,
We're like, hold
exactly.
on. I got to make another room. As we're
Yeah,
talking to you until making another room for StreamYard. We're going to make a part two. Jeez.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Ringside Crew, you'll be like, when's part two coming out? You'll see.
Yes.
We'll be in
Right.
our pajamas. We'll be like, why are you both wearing pajamas? Because this is a part two. We're both
Because
tired.
yeah, we have been here after 7 hours recording.
And by you, it'll be like 5 a.m. and it'll
Oh
just
yeah,
be 5 a.m. by me. It'll be like 1 a.m. by me and 5 a.m. or so like that by
definitely.
you. Take a break, get a cup of coffee, come back, me at an egg sandwich.
I mean, when we talk about wrestling, when we talk about things like that, like we can be talking here for hours, definitely.
Oh yeah, my my life with wrestling. I'm 40. Like I've lived
Right.
through so many different eras of
Oh
professional
yeah.
wrestling, with the golden, the Attitude Era, the even the John
Yeah,
Cena's
the
era.
new
Oh my God, there's
generation,
so many
the
eras.
ruthless aggression era. Yeah, you have seen it all. I mean, not all, but most of what's
Yeah,
worth
I've
watching.
seen lots of it, and a lot of weird characters. So like
Of
being at
course.
all these shows that you've been to, what's like been like the weirdest character or gimmick that you've ever been around that Americans are not really used to?
Wow. I mean, that's so the funny thing is that now, the gimmicks is something that is, I say, in danger of extinction. Like a lot of wrestlers are right now just people who just wear shorts and a pair of boots, and that's it. It's hard to sometimes find the gimmicks. Uh, I seeing a gimmick that actually I was really shocked the first time I saw him. And he's a world class athlete and a world class wrestler. His name is Cara Noir, and he's an independent wrestler that has been performing mostly at Progress Wrestling in the UK. And his entrance and his whole gimmick is of and excuse me if I don't pronounce it correctly because my English is not my first language, but it's like a black swan,
Oh
something
wow,
like that.
that's fun.
Yeah, and he enters with some kind of feathers with wings and all of that. I was like, wow, like the whole entrance is worth paying a ticket. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like because it's extravagant, but it's in a good way, meaning that this is such a performance that a lot of fans are just waiting for that as much as they are waiting for the match itself. So yeah, that's one of the ones that impacted me the most. Because apart from that, there are a lot of gimmicks, but usually the gimmicks are, like the warrior from Sparta, or like the gladiator, or like the Viking and stuff like that that we are more used to, and Americans are also used to see. So it's not a shock anymore.
yeah. There's a
Right.
lot of America, and I could say this in the UK too. There's a lot of like zombies. There's a lot of monsters. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's like the Tombies of the world. Everybody knows Tombi. Like,
Right,
and I see him in America, and a lot of American wrestling fans look him up and they go, "Oh, he's another deathmatch wrestler." And I'm like,
right.
he's a monster, but he's a deathmatch wrestler. Come on, come on. You
Yeah,
can't
like
really
where is the
say that there's a
balance?
lot of monsters, like deathmatch guys. Well, they're scary looking. They look like
I mean,
zombies.
there was a wrestler. I mean, it was in the U.S., and I'm not sure if he's popular anymore because it was like a viral thing that happened in the internet. It was this Luigi Primo, the pizza guy, the guy who was wrestling and making a pizza at the same
Oh
time.
yeah, yeah, I
I was
remember
like,
him.
wow, like sky's the limit.
Luigi. I think it was Luigi, right?
Luigi Primo, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Luigi, like
He
Mario
was
and Luigi,
around for
right?
like a while, and then he just fell off again. Like,
Right, right, right. But he was viral, and my friends who don't even like wrestling at all, but they were sending me those reels in Instagram or those shorts like, "Hey, dude, this is what you do, right?" And they would send me a reel of a wrestler making a pizza and wrestling at the same time, and I'm like, "Well, not really, but yeah, you are pretty close."
it's so funny to think that like everybody thinks that wrestling have your gimmick and that's it. Because I had to teach my sister,
Right.
my twin sister, like Sassy. I was like, she's like, So what is it like? Do these characters really like this all the time? Like, yeah, they just have different shirts, different outfits when they go to the show, but this is their gimmick, and then that's what
Right.
they live off of. Like,
Yeah, most of them, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
there has been for sure wrestlers that have changed their gimmick, but most of the wrestlers they just adapt to what's needed for the show or whatever, but the gimmick stays the same.
mm.
Yeah, that's true.
So what would you consider your like biggest like pet peeve before a show? Like, is it more of the workout, or do you like to do your stretches before a show?
No, before the show, once I know what I have to do that day, once I know who I'm working with, what we are supposed to do, what is the business of our match, what we want to accomplish. Once all of that is said and done, and we have a pretty clear idea of what we want to do out there, I just need music. I'm a really, really, really big music fan, and music helps me to be on the mood. So just before the match or just before not the show, but before my match, you will find me somewhere in the backstage with my AirPods, just listening to some music and getting into the mood. Because for me, every time I go out to that curtain, I'm just fulfilling my childhood dream, which was to perform as a wrestler in front of a crowd. So I'm remembering again why I'm doing that, and I'm really nervous every time I go out there. So I try to use music to relax a little bit and to easy to ease my nerves a little bit.
Mm. All right. My last question is for the young fans that are watching the podcast. Hey guys,
Right.
if they wanted to get into the business
Yeah.
and like what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, I know it might sound cliche, but it is the truth. It's a very tough thing to do. You will hurt a lot. Your body will hurt. Your back, your neck, your legs, your feet, everything. Your eyebrows, your hair, everything will hurt. But if you can go through that pain and you can get used to that pain, it's a wonderful business in which you will meet a lot of fantastic people and you might have the chance to travel to a lot of different places and see a lot of new things. So if you want to start, just be humble, keep your mouth shut and your eyes open, your ears open, absorb as much as knowledge as you can from anyone in the business, and last but not least, respect the veterans that have been here before you came. That's like that's the rules I drive through life, not only with wrestling but with everything in general. Respect the people who came before you and who opened the path for you, and just keep your mouth shut and absorb as much knowledge as you can. Be like a sponge. You know. Yeah.
Awesome. So before we go, Nano, if any of my fans would like to like follow you on social media, or if they want to buy any merch of yours, how can they find it, or how can they find you?
The best way would be the Instagram. Does the social media have the more active and the one that has more, I would say, relevance. So at Starboy Nano Lopez all together. You can find me there, and if you want merch or anything, you can just drop a DM there or at my email nanolopezpw@gmail.com. That's the two ways to contact me. The only two ways I would say.
Okay. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It really means a lot to me. I'm Joe
Thank you for
Panther the
having me.
third,
And I'm Starboy Nano Lopez.
and we will catch you in the next one. Have
In
a
the
good day or have a good night, everybody.